Hello YouTube family, welcome back to Faye'sLoc'dLife. On my channel I talk about locks, wellness, and sometimes I throw in some entertainment as well. Well, in today's rendition we are going to be talking about self-care. This is my wellness series, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So happy that you decided to click on and view me. And if you are one of my subscribers, thank you so much for returning to join me again for another video. So before we start, I just want to kind of remind people to drink your water. I always want to have my water on hand, just because it's hydrating for us, and also just to quench my thirst in case I get thirsty. But okay, before we get started, I want to thank some of my new subscribers. Yay guys, I am at 224 subscribers. I am so very happy about that. I know that might not be a big old number to some people, but to me it really is, and I just want to let you guys know just how grateful and thankful I am for you guys tuning in to my channel, because most times it's very, very hard for us to sit up here and do this, and we never think that, who would want to listen to our videos. But you'll be surprised once you just step out on faith and kind of just not allow fear to keep you stagnant. So anyways, I got 2 more subscribers. So I just wanted to say a great big thank you and mwah to Lane Hall and A. Lewis. Thank you for thinking that I am down to earth, but I actually really am down to earth. So I just want to thank you very quickly for that. Okay, I appreciate you guys, and all of you who become one of my subbies. I just appreciate you guys so much. But anyways, to get to the video, okay? So we are talking about self-love, guys. We have to really, really, especially in this day and age, we really have to start bringing some more love into this world, and just for ourselves, because there's so much going on out here. It's just so much happening that I really feel like we need to just start kind of focusing and really paying attention to what would make us feel good as people. There's a lot of people out here suffering, especially with all these different viruses and different things going on. And with the day and age of technology, a lot of people are isolated, and a lot of people feel lonely out here. There are a lot of lonely people out here, and they're suffering in silence. And if I can add a few uplifting words to some people, or if this can help anyone who may be going through that, I really want to be that source for someone to come to feel like, okay, I'm not alone. I can hear some words that can lift me up, and that someone recognizes that, that people are actually going through this. You know what I mean? So self-love, these are some of the things that I have started to incorporate in my life, and I want to share them because I learned them from some other people here on YouTube myself that helped me. Okay, so we're going to go over a few things, and as always, if you have anything to contribute, please make sure you put it below. And like the subscribers did, they left a message for me. That's how I got their name. So if you all want me to give you guys some shout outs, down with the Lock family, you got to leave a comment so I'll know your name. Other than that, I don't know how to find your names, guys. Okay. Anyways, the first thing that we are going to start out with is create a daily routine. And you know what? I know sometimes people might think that's like, okay, like, what do you mean? Like, how it might seem kind of like a simple thing to do. Actually, it can be a simple thing to do. You just getting up every day and making your bed. Don't you know that that's a routine? Like, you getting up every day and just making your bed is a thing where, at least for the day, you completed that one thing. And that's the thought behind it, being able to complete stuff, because oftentimes we feel like we didn't get much done today. Wow, I got so much to do and all this and all that. If you just get up and make your bed every day, just start there. And that could be a routine for you. Get up. I don't allow my phone now. I learned this. I don't bring my phone in my bed when I go to sleep at night. You know why? Because oftentimes if a sound, we get a notification, ding, all this, all that, you're tempted to look at that phone, which makes you stay up later. Any little ding sound, this, that, the lights, we're talking about how the lights on the phone distract you from sleeping, all of those different type of things. So all of that stuff will distract you. So part of my routine is leaving my phone outside my room. First thing I do is get up and make my bed, and I have been doing that for years, guys. I've been doing that for years. I started to get up and trying to drink at least 8 ounces of water in the morning, whether it be lemon water, lime water. I actually prefer lime water because I like the way lime tastes better than lemon water, but don't get me wrong, I will drink lemon water if I don't have lime, okay? So that is on my thing. One of the next things that I have started to do, I'm not perfect at it yet, but I have started to what? Meditate and journal writing. Let me tell you, with meditation and stuff like that, that is, if you're not used to meditating, being silent, just being quiet, some people may not have a home where they can just be quiet. You might have kids running around, getting up in the morning, getting ready for school. If you live with someone, a husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever is going on, it just depends what's happening in your household or whatever it is you feel like you have to do. And in that event, if you got those things going on, then you need to get up earlier. You need to set your alarm clock so that you're up a little bit earlier so that you can take your time to start meditating. And you know what I also found is that I really, this ring light is kind of hot under this light. There, I guess I can feel how studio people probably feel because this ring light is actually really hot. But anyway, sorry, back to the journal writing. I found that I actually really like journal writing. You'll be surprised when you can just, maybe a month later, a month and a half later, you can start writing down where you are and your journey at the moment. And you'll be surprised how far you may have gone if you read that journal a month or two out. And the thing about it is, with the journal writing, it'll definitely show you what you might need to improve on, and it'll show you again how far you have gone. And just like, wow, I was really thinking like that. And it'll also show you just how your moods will change, you know, how you just have your ups and downs. It's just really a good practice for self-reflection. You'll be surprised how much you learn about yourself through journal writing. And then as it relates to the meditation, you don't have to start out a long time. None of us are, professionals at meditating, right? So I don't care if you get up, sit still, find a quiet room. You could put on YouTube. Sometimes I'll put on a YouTube practice that lasts for 5 minutes if that's all I got. Maybe sometimes I do. My goal is like, okay, I want to do a 15-minute meditation. Sometimes I can complete it. Sometimes I can't. But like I said, you work your way up to it. Okay? We're working our way up to that. So don't worry about that. But that is something, meditating and journal writing and having a routine starts your day off well. It actually gets your day off, started off on a good foot. Trust me, I started to do it, and you will be surprised how well your day will go if you start to implement these different practices. Okay, guys? The next thing I have on my list, and I would say these two things, one more challenging than the other, one of which is exercising and eating healthier, right? Making small, healthy choices as it relates to your food choices, right? Now, let's start with the harder thing for me, which is the exercise. I no matter how much I have tried throughout my entire life, I've just never had that thing down where I was just good at exercising consistently. Now, don't get me wrong, I've always done enough to keep my weight in check, where it may have fluctuated between 5 and 10 pounds or whatever like that. But I've never been able to kind of like just get so consistent where it's like, okay, I want my body sculpted, I want to be toned this way, and I want to just, and that might require me to be in the gym 3, 4 days a week, maybe even 5 days a week, and staying consistent no matter what, and staying on that schedule, right? That right there is so hard for me. Like, that is just one thing. I walk every day. I definitely can get going for about a couple of months, and then I conk out. But I guess I've still, because it just doesn't come natural to me, I still have kind of given myself that excuse, because I do enough so that I am not out of my my weight like little class. I guess I don't I'm still able to stay within my weight class. So it's like I've kind of used that excuse, and that is just not good enough anymore. I am needing to be challenged. My niece just created a group that I joined, and that thing is for 6 months. And that is one of the things that I'm going to put on that I need to make a change with, and that is the exercise routine. Now, the eating habit, making small changes with that, I've always been good at that. So that's another thing that kind of saved me. I've always been a very adventurous person as it related to eating different things and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of what helped me when so it wasn't hard for me to transition over to like, okay, try to eat vegetarian, try to eat vegan days, or this and that and all that. So even as it stands now, because I found so many type of foods that I like for being adventurous like I have, you'll be really, really surprised how good some vegan and vegetarian meals can taste, guys. You really will be surprised. And just making little small changes, like doing a vegan mayonnaise instead of a regular mayonnaise, or doing a vegan cheese instead of that, you will really be surprised. Actually, the taste, there's a lot out here now. It's not like before, and because so many people are making those changes, they're really, really coming up with more and more better recipes and more tasty recipes. You will be surprised, guys. So try it out. Another thing that I have been doing that have been making a huge difference for me is affirmations and mirror work, guys. This book, my daughter ended up buying this book for me. She bought this book. It's Manifestation and Journaling, a book, and it really has a lot of great things in this book. It asks a lot of questions. There's a lot of assignments that you got to do in here. There's even a section where you have to do a vision board, right? I'm actually waiting for some stuff to come, because I got like some stickers or some different things that I actually want to use for that portion. Aside from the fact that I already make vision boards or stuff like that, these are some of the things that I have already done. I've already done some work in the book, like ahead of it. And I'm telling you, there's some really, really, really great things in here. When it comes to the affirmation part, they have like a really nice section here on affirmations too. So here are the affirmation parts. Okay, let's see. Affirmations. And okay, so you have affirmations of love, and they have like a whole bunch, like, I attract loving and caring people into my life. My soul is nurtured by the abundance of love in my life. Then you'll have the affirmations for self-worth, like, I am perfect just the way that I am. I grow and become a better version of myself every day. That's like when you can choose affirmations for success and wealth, affirmations for body positivity. My worth isn't defined by my weight. I define my worth, and I am worthy. No one else has the power to make me feel bad about myself. So these are things that are great type of things that you can do when you're saying your affirmations and doing the mirror work. Let me tell you something, guys. I recently started doing mirror work as well. When you get in the mirror and you look at yourself and you just start talking to yourself, you're doing shadow work and you're doing like your affirmations and you're doing things and you're learning to actually look at the man in the mirror. And I'll tell you what, I know you guys probably might think that is like a simple thing to do, but it's really not. It's funny because you'll get up when it's time for you to just wash up and put your makeup on and do all this, get yourself dressed and look at yourself in that way. When you're not doing self-examination, it doesn't seem like that. But when you're actually looking at yourself and talking to yourself, let me tell you something, it is going to allow you to really see who you really are and how you actually really feel about you. It's really going to allow you to see how much you actually really love yourself if you can actually look at yourself and face yourself and say things like, you are beautiful. I love you. You are great just the way you are. You are enough. Faye, you are going to be all right. I got you 100%. And you're looking at that. Let me tell you something. It took me a little minute. You'll be surprised. I was like, what? I always thought I was kind of confident in that. But I'm trying to tell you something. If you're a first timer and you've never done mirror work before, try it out and let me know how you feel. But start saying loving things to yourself and all those kind of things, and you will be surprised how you feel about saying loving things to yourself if you're not used to saying loving things to yourself. That's a word right there. I'm trying to tell you something, okay? I challenge you guys to do that, all right? The next thing that I'm doing, I used to read books every night before I went to bed. That was a habit that I had, and I actually for years, I wanted to do a book club, but for whatever reason, I made excuses, this, that, and to this day, I still haven't, you know what I'm saying, created Faye's Comfy Corner, not no Faye's Comfy Corner, Faye's, you like wine and sip or something like that or whatever. But I have always wanted to create a book club because I always read every night, and I love, one of my favorite pastimes is going to the library. I finally found the library here where I'm at, and I finally went and got my library card, and I'm so happy because I just find so much solace in going to the library. It's like, I love it. The book that I am reading now, aside from doing my manifestation journal, I try to at least do about 10 to 15 minutes of writing, and just, even if I don't get down to completing an assignment, I will really try to get up in here and really read some of these really challenging questions and different things and all that kind of stuff, and just fill in some things that this is really that work that you have to do. This book, listen, if you guys, I think my daughter got this from Amazon, right? It looks like this. Let me see who this is by. This is it's called the Manifestation Journal. This is a really good journal. And in the middle it says, in the beginning it says, this journal belongs to, and you write your name. I still didn't put my name yet, but and it's by Limitless Abundance. Let me see, Limitless Abundance, Manifest Your Desires. Copyright 2021, Limitless Abundance. I guess that might be, yeah, it just says Limitless Abundance. So I think that could be just like the brand or whatever who makes this book. But I'm telling you, this is really good, guys. If you want a good, nice little manifestation journal, I actually recommend this one. Okay? And try Amazon. I believe that's where she got it. The next book I'm reading, I was actually reading Leo Tolstoy, the Russian writer. And I was reading his last book that he made. It was a calendar book of daily affirmations. So every day of the week through the year, you just go through and you read, like, because he was a philosopher, so he has some really good type of things where to make you think type of quotes every day of the week. And that's something too that I like to also read to kind of keep me like uplifted and empowered. So that was something good. And then there was another one that I got. What was the name of that book? Let me see. It says, not the high rollers. The High Rollers Take All. No, Winners Take All. It was called Winners Take All. And I didn't go to get that book, but I just stumbled across it when I went to the library. And it was really interesting because it talks about how the 1% in this country, how they stay on top, all the tactics they use. It talks about all the laws that are in place, everything this and that keeps them up there, and how it keeps us underneath. So that book is called Winners Take All. And then I thought this was quite interesting. This book here, right? This one here. And this one was called It's the Little Things, the Everyday Interactions That Get Under the Skin of Blacks and Whites by Lena Williams. It's by Lena Williams. And this is not to like cause any type of friction between white and black. Like that, it's not even nothing about that. But it was just very interesting when I just opened it up and started reading some things. It was just interesting to find the things that they're talking about in here is really a lot of the things that we actually go through, and it talks about how black people feel on their side and how white people feel on their side. And it was just really, really like interesting how so many of these things in here that they say, you know, how you will really resonate and relate to it. So if you're kind of interested in just reading something like this just to kind of see, I just, you know, it was something I picked up, and I actually am going to complete it because it's held my attention. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. So starting to read is always going to be a good thing. It's always going to help you to learn about different things. Reading is never a bad thing. Okay. All right. So I am implementing that. Okay. Oh, and I'm also, you know what, guys, one other book that I'm reading. Let me grab. This one actually is by Viola Davis. Let me show you guys. It is Viola Davis's autobiography. I'm over there with my book, my bookcase is over there. But this one here by Viola Davis. Okay. And this is a picture of her when she's a little girl on the back. And this one was recommended by Oprah's Book Club. Let me tell you something. I was utterly shocked. Like, with this book, all I can say is get this book. If you have not had a chance, my daughter bought this for me for my birthday because she knows I enjoy good reading. She knows I like to read nonfiction books. I like nonfiction. I like real stuff. I like autobiographies. I like stuff like that. I'm not really too much into like kind of being like entertained and all that other kind of stuff. I kind of find that in other ways. But when it comes to my reading, I like to learn things, and I just like to read about real things and real life stories, people's stories and who they are and things like that. That's just more of my genre of reading. Black history and things like that. This is a super raw book. I mean, super raw. She don't hold anything back. It is straight with no chaser. It is I guess I see why it's on Oprah's Book Club. This one's it right here. If you want a really good read about Viola Davis's life, get her book called Finding Me. Very good one. Very good book. Okay. The next thing is, guys, when you're doing all this stuff, right, it's time to take responsibility, right? So if we want to change our lives and to this and that and all that old kind of stuff, because we can talk all day long about changing our lives and how we want to do things different, and you know how sometimes we might have a job or in a relationship or whatever we may be doing, and say you're at a job and you're not getting paid enough, right? Or you're in a relationship and someone's doing you bad. They cheating on you, they doing this, they doing that, but you're still in this relationship, you're still staying at that job, you're still you're still driving that same car that got the transmission needs to be fixed and all this other kind of stuff, and you're blaming everybody else and everything else in every other situation. But guess what, guys? It starts with you. It starts with inside. I remember I used to be like that. I used to like, well, I didn't do anything. Well, they should be paying me more. It never occurred to me that, okay, what role do you play in that? If they're not paying you that much, or you from the beginning, you shouldn't have even took the job, because you knew from what they offered you, it wasn't what you was worth or what you wanted. But sometimes we will allow desperation and whatever that is to allow us to move forward in something that you know you don't want. Or you know down the line you're not going to be satisfied. You know it's not going to be enough. You know it ain't worth whatever. You know you're not happy in this relationship or whatever, but you're staying there. But you're mad that the guy or the girl is doing you wrong and doing this and doing that. But you're still staying there. You can't complain and this and that and do all that if you're still there. That is the role you're playing. So we have to start taking responsibility, like learning to actually take responsibility, and to learn that just because things happen bad in our lives or this and that, different things that happen. I remember when I never could see the good in anything bad that happened to me. Anything that would happen to me, all I saw was just the bad in it, or who done it, or this and that and all that. But what I also learned was that is important too, to have the bad, because the bad is teaching you lessons. The bad is teaching you what you don't want next time, or what you're not going to do next time. That bad, if you just pay attention to what happened, good or bad, you're going to get lessons out of both. So embrace it, because this is about life. Life is about learning. It's like you live and you learn, just how they say you live. That literally really is like that. Once you realize that, you will realize you live and you learn, guys. So we have to get to the point where we just start really looking inwardly and taking responsibility for the roles take responsibility for the places and things situations we find ourselves in. And that's just the bottom line. We really have to start doing that, guys, okay? The next one is take action. If you want to change things, whatever, you're going to have to take action. If you want to leave that job, you're going to have to put in your 2-week your letter, your resignation letter. You're going to have to start looking for other jobs. You're going to have to start networking with people. You're going to have to start taking action in every part of their life. Maybe you need to have that conversation with your mate if you need to leave, or if you need to go to counseling, or whatever that form that may take. Whatever is happening in your life, nothing is going to just come and fall in your lap. You're going to have to take action. You have to take action. That is the only way that anything is going to change. All right. And I know we all know this, but I'm just saying, this is sometimes we might need that little bit of a push. You know, we have to jumpstart people sometimes. Sometimes this is what has to happen. You might have to, Auntie Faye might have to come on here and remind you that we need to take action in love, guys, though. You know, I'm only saying this because, to be honest with you, the same thing I'm saying to you is what I need to hear from my own self. Anything I say to you, I'm included, okay? The next thing is, you might not think so. A person said, if someone asks you, do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? Most people probably say, yeah, I love myself. Yeah, I love myself. I love yourself. But I would say to you, and you probably do love yourself to an extent, but what I would say to you is look at your life. Look at what you're doing in your life, and look at the choices that you have made in your life. And think about, if you really and truly love yourself, love yourself unconditionally, ask yourself, have you always respected yourself? Have you always made choices that were good for you? Have you always put yourself first? And that one right there, I always thought that was a selfish thing, to put myself first. Like, if my daughter, I got, I'm in a relationship. I got to do. Everybody else need me to do. Oh no, I'm just go ahead and wait back here real quick. My cousin asked if she borrowed some this and that. I'm gonna put my little bill aside because I want to help her because she gave me a sad story. But now I'm struggling. Nobody else that I just helped is help. No. That is one of the huge, big lessons that I had to learn, is learning to put yourself first. And guess what? It ain't gonna be easy at first, especially if you're an empathic person, like an empath, like that type of person that always want to help somebody else out and be a people pleaser and don't want nobody mad at you, worry about what people gonna think. Oh, she gonna think I'm mean or da-da-da. Listen, I don't care if you have to do work on yourself to get over that, but let me tell you, I implore you, in order for you to make sure you are okay, especially as we are getting older, we don't want to have that stress in our lives. We don't want to have to stop, because that will show up in your life. Then it'll start showing up in your health. It'll start showing up in so many ways. People being miserable, people, isolating themselves, hiding, not wanting to be around people, don't like being around people, literally not liking people. There's a lot of people that don't even like people. They'd rather be around animals or something than people. That's how some people can be and get. And it's easy to fall into that, guys. So you have to start, and all this stuff takes work. I'm telling you, this is self-care. This actually takes work. This ain't easy to do. I'm considering counseling. A lot of people in the Black community, counseling is taboo for us, right? Counseling for what? You crazy? Everybody always had that kind of little thing with the Black community that it is just very taboo. But I am so glad today that people are realizing how beneficial it is to get counseling. And if you ask me, and just the fact of the place we live in the United States, just in a place that, it is challenging for us just as a culture in so many ways, and just the way we've grown up. Most of us need counseling anyways, period. That's the way I feel. I feel like every Black person could benefit from counseling, me included. And I'm going to look into that for myself. I think it's only going to make me better. And there is no embarrassment about it. Let me tell you, it is time to take off the rose-colored glasses and start getting busy, y'all. For yourself, okay? So, but also what I would say is, even though we're putting ourselves first, right? Don't beat up on yourself, guys. Don't beat up on yourself. Give yourself some grace. Stop being hard. And I'm talking about past mistakes, not making the best choices and all this. This is what all this is about. Starting to implement some different changes in your life. Once you start to more self-love on yourself, you're going to start being strategic and putting things that's going to better you, make you a better person, making you feel a whole lot more at peace, which is going to make you more happier, bring you more into just smiling. There was a time where I lost my smile for a long time, and I was like, what in the world? It just came to me one day like, I don't even smile anymore. What is up with that? Like, where did my smile go? You'll be surprised just how something as simple as a smile, how you can end up going through so much stuff in life that you won't even smile anymore. And all of a sudden, I noticed that I wasn't even doing that. That's not something I'm going to do. So I had to learn from that. In a lot of ways, sometimes things that we go through, everything wasn't your fault, or you only did what you knew how to do in that time with what you knew. So we have to start learning that as well. Don't allow nobody to beat up on you because you've made mistakes. I don't care if you had that reputation back in the day, or how someone looked at you this way and this and that. They don't talk about it. If you seriously want to change your life, And you can do that. You have a right to do that. Nobody can stop you from doing that. The only one that you have to is your higher power to be accountable for. You need to just do it for yourself and connecting with your spirit. You get into that place, that is good enough when you're going on the right path, guys. All right, remember to give yourself some grace. Remember not to be so hard on yourself, but keep moving forward as well. If you need help, reach out for it, whether that be through counseling, whether that getting together with your family, surrounding yourself with people who love you and care about you and have your best interests at heart. You want to surround yourself with people like that. You don't want to surround yourself with people that you clearly know, and we all know them, okay? There are some people out here that just they're just not good for you. They may be in a different place in their life. It's okay. Let them do what they're doing over there. You're not with that anymore. You're over here, okay? So this is how you're moving forward. We can all change if we really want to, okay? And that comes into my last thing I'm talking about, forgiveness. I'll tell you, once again, I was the type of person that it was hard for me to forgive people. If somebody did something wrong to me, boy, it was hard for me to forgive them because I was always the type that never started anything. So I kind of felt like if I didn't start anything with you like, why are you starting anything with me? So that would really, really like light a fire in me and make me real explosive when someone would come at me in a, like, sideways or whatever, especially if I've never done anything to them. So that is something that I have worked on throughout my life, and I am very, very happy to say that I have gotten to a place that I have learned how to start forgiving people, and I have forgiven some significant things that had happened in my life that I really, really had a lot of anger in my life towards. But once I learned how to forgive and release that, like once you really learn how to do that, now it doesn't mean like how everybody should, well, I don't know if you know or not, but forgiveness is not for the person, it's for you. It's to release you, because you're holding yourself hostage. If you do not forgive someone who has done something to you, you're actually holding yourself. You're doing the forgiving for you. You release that pain and it will release so much out of you. You will be shocked. When I finally did it, I really finally understood what they meant, because you will be so shocked how such a relief. It's like a ton of bricks being released off of you, off your shoulders, when you finally release it and keep moving on. Forgive yourself for whatever mistakes you may have done and choices that you may have made for your life that may not have been the best thing for you, because we've all done that, right? We've all done things that we're not proud of or happy about, or feel like we could have done that differently, or why I should have spoke to this person that way, or dag, I was kind of mean right there. Like, we're gonna have to learn how to forgive ourselves, truly forgive ourselves, and when we know better, do better, right? So that's what you're doing. When you know better, you do better. And so that's an important one for me. Some of these might not be in the same order as for me. For somebody could be able to forgive real well, but don't know how to self-love themselves real well, or whatever like that. So the point is that all of this is relevant, okay? That was the last thing that I had on here, but I also do want to end with a quote. I always want to be able to end with a quote. And the quote of the day for this Monday is by the late, great Maya Angelou. And it states, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel." And how true is that? That is so, so true. A lot of times people won't remember, sometimes half the things you said. They won't remember what you did, this and that, but they damn sure will remember how you made them feel. Let you have really, really hurt somebody, and boy, I'll tell you, they will remember that forever. Sometimes people will not forget that part, okay? So anyways, that is it for Meaningful Monday, guys. I hope you enjoyed what I talked about here. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I just want to say to you guys before I close out, guys, right? This is another thing that I want to say. I feel like in this day and age of social media and stuff like that, and this is giving so many people an opportunity to really change their lives, like really